Today I'm going to celebrate a major milestone. I'm going to try and do 10 pull-ups. That's something I haven't done in over a year.
Working my way up to 10 pull-ups in 1 year demonstrates important life lessons, principles that can be applied to any aspect of your life. You can apply the principles of will, perseverance, and patience to any aspect of your life or to achieving any goal, whether it be losing weight or getting the next promotion or building out a successful YouTube channel. What is the most important goal that you want to accomplish in the next year? Please leave a comment and let me know.
1.
Have a clear goal. Define what it is you want to accomplish. 10 consecutive pull-ups, for example. I'm going to define some terms because words can have many definitions, and it's important to be on the same page to apply these successfully to your own life.
2.
Patience implies a willingness to wait and take the time necessary to complete a task without rushing or hurrying.
3.
I am not a naturally patient person, but patience can be practiced and learned.
4.
Rushing into pull-ups, I injured myself right off the bat, causing a major setback, tendonitis. Patience allowed me to take the time for healing and then slowly to build from there.
5.
Perseverance is continuing to work towards a goal, even in the face of challenges.
So up here, then I started to feel pain in my tendon here on my elbow, right? If I was doing a bicep curl like this, I was feeling pain in the same tendon in my elbow. So those two things were really causing my problem. So what did I do? I had to figure out, okay, how do I get around these limitations, yet still work on my goals of fitness and not go backwards, right? So I had many goals, of course. So what I found out was there were exercises I could do that would allow blood flow into that area and exercise it, but not exacerbate the problem. So for example, while this type of bicep curl was problematic, I found that I could do other types of bicep curls and not trigger the pain and inflammation, right? So I could do like this, a hammer curl, right? Or I could do the alternating roll curl, like that. And those did not exacerbate that pain. So that was one way of working around the limitation, yet still making improvements in the goals that I had, the physical fitness aspects that I wanted to improve. The other one had to do with the pull-up bar, right? So I jumped in January and I was trying to do as many pull-ups as I could, and then I was doing, decrementing sets and things like that, and that contributed to the inflammation. So how did I get around that while still working on all the muscles that are necessary to do that? So first off, I did have to rest for a while. But then when I got back into things, I modified my bicep curls like I showed you there. And then I found that, starting out in February or March, I would do like 1 or 2 pull-ups, right? And I would do 1 or 2 proper pull-ups, like this. And I would do it slow and measured. And that still hurt, but I would only do 1 set of 1 or 2 pull-ups. And I wouldn't increase that number for like a month, right? But what I would do then is, so I'd do 1 or 2 pull-ups, and then I found if I did a partial pull-up, it would not actually bother my tendon here. So I could do a pull-up like this, and I would spread my hand hold out a little bit more, and just go partially, right? So if I just go up to the bar, then I found that was not bothering my elbow. So I would do 1 or 2 regular full pull-ups, and then I would supplement that by doing a couple extra ones, or maybe a couple extra sets of partial pull-ups. And that helped build all the upper body strength. It helped acclimate my muscles, my tendons, my ligaments to the motions and to the strain without causing inflammation and injury. 6.
There were many interruptions to my slow and steady progress. For example, when my dad passed away in March or when I sprained my wrist in November. After each interruption, I persevered and resumed working toward my goal. And I employed patience to take a couple steps back so that I could ease back into my workout routine and avoid another setback due to injury.
7.
Will is diligent purposefulness, determination, self-discipline, self-control. Where there's a will, there's a way.
8.
When I sprained my wrist, I had to figure out creative ways to maintain what I'd gained while allowing my wrist to heal and while still playing volleyball, which is my biggest passion.
9.
So we've learned that patience, perseverance, and will are crucial to achieving goals and winning at life.
And 10.
So after a long year, I achieved my goal. So let's celebrate.
Today's accomplishment was a great example of some life skills and principles that'll help you win at the game of life.
To demonstrate how important patience, perseverance, and will are in achieving goals and winning at life, I'm going to give you a couple more examples in the areas of finance and family and relationships to show you how generally applicable they are and how important. Let's look at a financial example. The first thing you want to do is establish a clear goal. You might say, I want to have a net worth of $1 million by the time I turn 40. Patience will allow you to budget and save aggressively. For example, while our friends were financing furniture to emulate the lifestyle of their parents, my wife and I were sleeping on a futon mattress on the floor well into our 30s. Choose to delay gratification, which involves foregoing immediate rewards in exchange for more significant and enduring benefits in the future. Employ your will to do absolutely everything that you can think of to work towards your goal. Live way below your means, invest in the stock market, invest in rental real estate, start a company, etc., etc. There could be a lot of challenges along the way. Recessions, deadbeat tenants, dishonest employers, oh my. When you face challenges, and you will, employ perseverance to continue working toward your goal. By focusing on these principles and being intentional, you might actually surprise yourself and achieve your goal ahead of schedule, maybe even way ahead of schedule. This is a pretty big and aggressive financial goal, and it reminds me of something that we've had on our fridge for the last 30 years. It goes like this. Great things are accomplished because we didn't know how hard they would be when we began. It might be easy to see how perseverance, patience, and will can be used to achieve goals that are fairly tangible, things like fitness and financial goals. But it can also be used in other areas. For the last example, I'm going to talk about something in the realm of family and relationships, which is a little bit less tangible. As usual, the first thing you do is define your goal clearly. We wanted an extension to our family with similar goals and in a similar life stage, especially because we had young, impressionable kids. So, how did will factor into this? Well, we actually tried it first with our family, but that didn't work out. So, we had to keep working toward our goals with others. Perseverance was also important because in the early years, we weren't sure that the other families shared our goal, or maybe they didn't feel as strongly about it or put as high a priority on it as we did. And it is no small feat to have 13 unique personalities get along harmoniously and spend a week together at the beach every year. Deep and meaningful relationships cannot be built overnight, so patience was important. 20 years later, we're like one big family, including Gen 2 and Gen 3. Our group of 13 has now expanded to 17, and it's still growing. Achieving this goal is probably one of the most important things in our lives. If we had given up, we would have missed out on what have become some of the most meaningful relationships in our lives and in the lives of our adult children. If you liked today's video, then please stay tuned because I'm planning additional videos on crucial life skills to help you achieve the goals that are important to you. Things like vision boarding and being proactive. Thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something today. It's been a pleasure sharing these principles with you, and I wish you all success.
Okay, Xavier, what I would like you to do is see how many pull-ups you can do properly. And what I mean by that is no momentum. Okay, so brief pause at the top, brief pause at the bottom, and not using your body to try and propel you. Okay, so let's see how you do.
That's usually how I try to do.
Okay. Oh, why don't you do a chin up?
Oh, shit.
Okay, I call them the same thing, but I know they're different.
I don't do these.
Oh, really? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Can I do 15?
I don't know, can you? 15.
If you want to count that.
Yeah, I would count it. Good job, Zave. So how hard was that?
Pretty hard.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in the gym for a while. So.
Oh, really? But you're pretty buff. Let's see a gun show here. There we go. Okay. Very nice. Thank you, son. Appreciate it.
It's your world and I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut to move your butt.
Please subscribe now. You know you want to. And why not go nuts and set notifications on so you'll be notified every time I put out new content.